Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, guys. Holy.
That means something that just was powerful enough that it reached multiple frequencies.
I mean, that just went straight across the entire screen. Do you typically hit different anomalies, things that just are unexplainable?
Nothing like that. Never anything that just broadly goes across.
Minutes ago in the remote Alaskan wilderness, Dr. Mireya Mayor stumbled upon a chilling discovery during her quest to find Bigfoot. She and her team came across massive footprints deep in the forest mud, suggesting the creature of legend might actually be lurking nearby. Their heart rate spiked as they followed the trail, every rustle and shadow intensifying their fear. What could be waiting in the dense forest? Something even more terrifying than Bigfoot itself? Tune in. Let us dive into the spine-chilling details of what Dr. Mayor unearthed in those dark, foreboding woods. The quest for Bigfoot. Look at that. Something seems to be moving over there. This group of researchers has been fueled by a long-standing wish to be the first to find one of North America's most mysterious creatures. As they journeyed through the vast Alaskan wilderness, they stumbled upon some unexpected clues. Here's how Mireya Mayor ended up finding something truly spine-chilling during their search for Bigfoot. With the sun setting behind the dense tree line, casting ominous shadows across their path, Mireya held her breath as she approached the stirring bushes. Once again, we're deep in the wild, following a few skilled researchers as they continue their mission to track down Bigfoot, a huge mythical creature said to roam the thick forests of the United States and Canada. It was during one of these searches that Dr. Mireya Mayor, a well-known expert in studying animals in tough environments, came across something truly terrifying. This shocking moment happened when Dr. Mayor and her team suddenly found strange footprints pressed deep into the forest soil. Everyone was thrilled and curious. These prints didn't just suggest the creature might be real, they hinted that it could be close by. Imagine what it would mean to come face to face with something so mysterious. But take another look at those prints. For hundreds of years, people have tried to track down this creature only to come back with no solid proof. Many still doubt if it's even real. With that in mind, it's easy to understand why Dr. Mayor and her team were so determined to get to the bottom of this mystery. As they kept going, their excitement grew. Every new sign, every tiny clue seemed to bring them closer to what could be one of the biggest finds in wildlife history. The deeper they went into the forest, the more signs they spotted. Broken branches, more footprints, and an uneasy feeling that they were getting closer to something big. Their drive to keep searching, despite rough paths and a growing sense of fear, kept them moving forward. But this was not the worst part. The thought of finally seeing Bigfoot in person was both exciting and terrifying. Eager to explore the wide and wild Alaskan wilderness, they were prepared for anything that might be out there. As they moved through the vast landscape, something unexpected caught their attention. "What's that over there?" someone asked, stepping back to get a clearer view of a shadow in the distance. This adventure might finally reveal answers to questions people have been asking for years. Could the legendary Bigfoot really be hiding in these woods? Though she came back without a definite answer, she and her team returned with something that only made things more confusing. Their findings left everyone with even more questions. "Something big moved through here," one of them said, the tension rising. The wilderness sounds filled the air around them, making them realize how important this expedition really was. Dr. Mayor's hunt for Bigfoot, which drew a lot of attention in 2019 when it aired on the Travel Channel, was just the latest step in a search that has gone on for centuries. People have been fascinated by the idea of this massive creature for a long time. Even before settlers came to America, Native Americans told stories about a huge, mysterious being weaving its presence into their history. They were the first to search for it, passing down stories and inspiring others to continue the search for generations. With such a long history, it's no surprise that so many have been captivated by the mystery for so many years. "I'm getting a heat signal," someone called out, bringing everyone back to the present moment. All eyes were on the forest, senses on high alert. They were part of a story that went back far beyond modern times, deeply connected to ancient legends and the human need to explore the unknown. The story gets more interesting when more clues started popping up, making people wonder if a strange creature really does live in the large forests of North America. But sadly, this so-called proof never really convinced those who looked closely at it. Most of the time, it was blurry videos showing a shadowy figure, which some people claimed to be the famous Bigfoot. These clips were often taken long ago, making it hard to tell if they were real. The team's gadgets pick up strange signals, pulling them deeper into the mystery. Tracking the unseen. When it comes to these pieces of proof about Bigfoot, they just haven't been strong enough to change the minds of doubters. Because of that, talk about Bigfoot has often been brushed off as just another wild theory, similar to stories about aliens and UFOs. People usually greet Bigfoot sightings with so much doubt that even the biggest fans of the creature have a hard time believing it. But here's the catch. A small group of believers still think Bigfoot is out there. They are driven by curiosity and the hope to finally silence the critics. They keep searching for evidence, hoping to prove their point. Interestingly, even those who don't believe in Bigfoot spend a lot of time trying to prove it's all a myth, aiming to close this debate for good. But this isn't even the most puzzling part. The big question is, what kind of proof would be enough to convince everyone? What sort of clues would be strong enough, and which ones would people just laugh off? This constant back and forth keeps the mystery of Bigfoot alive and makes some people go to great lengths to end the argument. One group, called the Expedition Bigfoot Team, took this challenge head-on. They started their own risky mission, driven by hope and curiosity to see if they could find the truth. And during their search, they stumbled upon not one, but possibly two different sets of handprints. This only sparked more arguments and investigations into whether this creature really roams the forests. It looked like there were two teams involved, which meant a pair of groups were on the hunt together. "Oh wow," one of them said, and just one look at them showed why they stood out. They seemed ready for success because they had taken on a huge project, scanning all of North America to find this mysterious creature. They were also using the latest technology to track this legendary being. If anyone could get the job done, it was definitely them. This leads us to one event involving Dr. Mayor and her team, which included people like Bryce Johnson, who was leading the whole thing. Bryce was guiding his team using important information to help them in their search. There was also Russell Accord, a survival expert and a former military man who was the best at navigating rough terrains. Along with them was Ronnie LeBlanc, a Bigfoot researcher and author. Together, they were heading into some of the most famous Bigfoot areas across North America. In one nerve-wracking moment, the team found themselves a bit underprepared in a thick forest, armed only with flashlights to light up the pitch-black night. Naturally, everyone was on high alert, knowing they could run into who knows what hidden in the dark. Even the soft sound of crickets chirping made them feel tense as they moved through the dark woods. Their sharp focus might just be what they needed to survive this tough journey and finally track down the creature they were looking for. Despite having only flashlights, the team was lucky that Russell and another teammate, Mark, had thermal imaging cameras. These cameras were critical in spotting even the smallest traces of warmth in the cold night, a tool they really needed in their challenging search. In a dark and thick forest, a group of explorers equipped with thermal cameras hoped these tools would help them spot anything hiding in the shadows. They were searching for signs of Bigfoot, a creature said to live in these woods. As they went further into the darkness, their high-tech gadgets didn't let them down. The cameras showed a strange heat source glowing from a distance. This find made everyone curious. Standing around the odd warm spot on the tree, they wondered if Bigfoot had made it or if something even bigger was behind it. The warmth suggested that whatever left it might still be nearby, which only made them more eager to know more. The deeper they go, the more the forest seems to respond, ready to reveal its secrets. Whispers in the wilderness. The group was excited, but also unsure. The heated mark brought more questions than answers. But that wasn't the most surprising part. Soon they heard a strange sound that deepened the mystery. The noise didn't sound like anything they were used to hearing in the Alaskan wilderness. It wasn't from small animals like beavers or raccoons, nor did it match the calls of larger animals like bears, wolves, or moose. This sound was entirely new to them, something that didn't fit the patterns of nature they knew. It puzzled them and pushed them to explore deeper into the forest's dark corners. And perhaps most importantly, something seemed to be hiding very well in the dark parts of the huge forest that night. Naturally, the team felt a mix of fear and excitement as they tried to figure out what was going on around them in the woods. Once they took a deep breath and calmed down, they realized that the creature they were tracking was a lot closer than they thought. A scary thought, but it also made them more eager to keep searching. Their curiosity grew even more when they saw the creature move suddenly. It shot away as if it had been watching them from a high tree branch, and once it learned what it needed, decided to leave. Luckily, the team had their thermal cameras, which helped them spot something close by. But the heat signal they saw started to fade, showing that it wasn't going to last long. When the team noticed the heat signal, it showed that something was alive and moving, even though they couldn't see exactly what was in the tree. Still, they were happy with what the heat-detecting cameras showed them. It brought them closer to figuring out the mystery of Bigfoot. This gave them a clear sign that they had come across something unusual in the thick forest. Even though they felt scared that night, their excitement kept them going in their search for Bigfoot in the wilds of Alaska. If anyone looked at Dr. May and her team, they'd see just how determined they were to solve the mystery behind all the stories. With this new energy, they seemed ready to go even deeper into the unknown parts of the woods. At this point, continuing their journey was the only way to get closer to finding the truth about the creature they were tracking. The team moved forward into the dark, thick forest, hoping to finally find what they were looking for. But not everyone agreed with their decision to keep going. Some thought it was a dangerous idea, almost like a foolish risk, while others believed it showed their bravery and courage. As they walked deeper into the wild, they started to feel like something unseen was watching them. But this wasn't the most unsettling part. They also felt the weight of the forest closing in around them. Still, they didn't let this eerie feeling stop them. They pushed forward, pulled deeper into the woods by their curiosity. Each step made it feel like they were walking into a place that was more alive than ever, filled with secrets waiting to be found. While searching the forest, the team found something strange, a triangle made from upside-down trees at an old logging site. It stood out as the most unusual thing they'd come across in their hunt for Bigfoot. As they find more clues, the mystery only deepens, pushing them to question everything. The strange trail. The sight sent shivers down their spines, adding another layer of mystery to their search. Bryce remembered feeling the same chill at a similar spot in the past, making him wonder if these strange tree patterns were linked to past events in the area. Their nerves were stretched even tighter when they spotted more unusual signs scattered around the woods. Each one seemed to back up Bryce's growing suspicion that people might have missed Bigfoot's traces here before. This only pushed them harder. They carefully studied every clue they found, hoping that one of them would lead to Bigfoot in the remote Alaskan wilderness. Their determination never wavered. Bryce believed this abandoned site could be hiding evidence others had overlooked, even by those who had searched the woods before. But something was off. As they moved through the dense forest, the feeling of being watched crept up on them. It made their task harder, but it didn't stop them. They pushed forward, motivated by the thought that they were getting closer to the truth. And yet this wasn't the scariest part. Despite the eerie surroundings and the nagging sensation of unseen eyes on them, they remained focused. They were determined to uncover the real story behind the legend of Bigfoot. Led into a trap by another wild animal? The idea made their nerves even worse. They were nervous, but there was also a bit of excitement building up. The thought of discovering the truth about the legendary Bigfoot kept them moving forward. The forest stretches out for miles, filled with tall trees and thick bushes. Every little noise, like a twig snapping or a leaf moving, could tell you something if you pay close attention. To most people, these sounds might not mean much, just part of the background. But for Bryce, who leads the team, each noise is worth noticing. It's like the woods are speaking, and Bryce is trying to understand what they're saying. Bryce guides the small group carefully, always calm and focused. He's been doing this for a long time and knows how to pick up on the smallest clues. A broken branch, a stone out of place, or a strange mark in the dirt, all of these are signals he takes seriously. Bryce isn't just walking, he's searching, looking for anything that might hint at what they're looking for: Bigfoot. The others follow behind, copying his careful movements and trying not to miss anything. They've been walking for hours, but Bryce keeps pushing forward. He leads them to places that other teams might have missed. Many others have come here before, searching for the same thing, but left without finding anything. Bryce, however, has a different approach. He stops more often, looking closely at places where the ground is softer or the bushes seem disturbed. It's slow work, but he believes that patience will pay off. The group reaches a quiet spot by the riverbank. It's an old abandoned logging site where people used to cut down trees many years ago. Now the place is mostly forgotten, with wild plants and thick bushes taking over. Even though it's overgrown, Bryce thinks it's a good spot. It's quiet, hidden, and doesn't see a lot of people. This makes it the kind of place where animals, or maybe even Bigfoot, could pass by unnoticed. The river flows gently nearby, making soft sounds as it moves along. Bryce's eyes move carefully across the muddy ground and the thick bushes. He signals for the team to spread out and look closely. They need to find any little thing that looks unusual. A footprint, a tuft of fur, or a broken branch. This could be the place where they finally get some solid evidence. It's far away from where most people go, and Bryce hopes this could be the perfect spot to catch a trace of Bigfoot. With fresh clues and rising doubts, the team faces the wilderness with new energy, inching closer to the truth. The silent search in Alaska's wilds. But it's not going to be easy. They have to be very careful. One wrong step could destroy a clue, like a footprint or a hair stuck in a branch. Bryce knows they need to work slowly and check every corner. Maybe today will be their lucky day, or maybe they'll leave empty-handed again. Either way, he's determined to keep looking until he finds something real. Yet this is not the hardest part. What's really difficult is keeping hope alive when they keep coming up with nothing. After all, how do you stay positive when every search feels like starting from zero? This is why Bryce's steady attitude is so important for the group. He believes that every small clue matters, even if it's just a broken twig or a strange pattern in the mud. So they keep looking, hopeful but cautious. Bryce's calmness helps, showing that he's not giving up. The forest is a tricky place, full of secrets and surprises. Finding Bigfoot might seem impossible, but with every careful search, Bryce and his team believe they're one step closer to solving the mystery. Their patience paid off when they reached the riverbed. The team's thermal cameras picked up strange heat patterns. This wasn't just another unclear sign, it seemed like a real clue of a large animal moving around recently. Everyone's excitement shot up. They felt closer than ever to finding something big, but danger was always nearby. The rough Alaskan wilderness wasn't friendly, and they couldn't ignore how alone they really were out there. Each team member knew that every step deeper into the dense forest could bring new problems. Still guided by the thermal maps, their excitement didn't fade. They dreamed of seeing Bigfoot in person, or at least getting proof that it really existed. They were on high alert, treating every sound and sight as a possible hint. But as time went by, they started feeling tired. Doubts crept in. Were they really on Bigfoot's trail, or was it something else entirely? The idea that they might be following a different, possibly even more dangerous creature added a new layer of fear. Yet despite their fears, the hope of solving a long-standing mystery kept them moving. Bryce and his team understood the risks, but kept going, inspired by the chance to make history. They pushed through thick bushes and heavy undergrowth, holding on to the belief that they were getting closer to the truth. It was as if the forest itself, with its secrets, was testing their courage while drawing them deeper into the place where Bigfoot was said to roam. But this wasn't the hardest part yet. As they ventured further, new threats and unexpected challenges awaited them. Would they turn back or continue to face the unknown? Will Bryce and his team find Bigfoot, or is this just a wild goose chase? Like, comment, and subscribe to follow their journey and share your thoughts.